I'll go right.
Yo, let me get the gyro combo and get extra hot sauce on that. With Bernie out here scalping tickets? What's going on here? Rick out here. Jeez. About to chat up with Bernie. Having conversations, Bernie. What up, 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 what up? This is your guy, Marcellus Ease. What up, my fellow Knicks fans? Happy Sunday. No snow. A lot going on right now. It's kind of crazy. Drop your 2 cents.
A lot of thoughts on the mind, man. Let's speak, though.
Phone lines is open. A lot going on right now. Julius Randle looking nice. I don't know. It's looking like the Knicks kind of got their star right now. But earlier this week, Julius Randle had spoke to what's his name, JJ Redick. He kind of gave him some insight of what's going on with the squad on kind of like how Tibbs are running things.
He's a tough coach if you don't like to be coached, or if you don't like to play or do things the right way, then he's tough. But Tibbs is the type of guy that, he just expects a certain level, like you said, a certain level of professionalism. He expects you to do things the right way, be prepared and do things the right way on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't want to do that, then it's going to be tough. We go about practice a certain way. We go about shoot-arounds and stuff a certain way. And I respect it. And I appreciate it because, early throughout the season, we're seeing the results of creating the right habits, doing things the right way. Honestly, man, he's not as much of a hard ass as people think he is, bro. Like, the dude is super cool, bro. Like, you can talk to him, like, he gonna kill me if you see him. He really is soft, man. Like, you can talk to him. So Tibbs is dope, bro. Like, he's dope. He's really, honestly, he's a player's coach. Like, this is the most fun as far as in the league that I've had playing for sure.
Well, you know what's crazy? Before I leave the phone lines open, Julius Randle's a gym rat, and he kind of says the culture, him being that, kind of had an effect on the young guys. A lot of guys on the team right now are just grinding it out. RJ, everyone else is kind of like in the gym nonstop.
I mean, if you know one thing about Tibbs, like, he loves dudes who want to work. And, when dudes are coming into the gym, like, this is the first time I've ever been on a team. Like, usually, like, when I travel or I go on the road or something, whatever it is, or I come back at night and shoot, I'd be the only one, like, in the gym at night. Or I'd be the only one, like, when we leave and get off the plane, like, that's going to the gym and getting extra shots up. And this is the first time I've been on a team where we got multiple dudes, like, damn near the whole team coming to the gym, putting in extra work, putting in extra shots, and Tibbs loves it. And Tibbs loves guys who are gym rats who want to work, and that's like Quick and those guys, Obi, Kev, all those dudes, they're gym rats, man. RJ, they're gym rats. So Tibbs loves that about guys, and that just installs a certain level of trust in them, even if you are a young player.
It's important this year that the guys get a lot of reps. Because with limited practice, a lot of teams are hurting right now. I'm not sure if you guys know the Pelicans right now, their defense is soft. When was the last time you ever seen a Van Gundy team, and Stan Van Gundy, one of the brothers, when in the hell did you ever see one of their teams have bad defense? Because guys ain't getting reps. So guys being gym rats is pretty good this season. And Randall was also asked about how the Knicks kept one of the best defenses so far this season.
Like, we said early on, like during the preseason games and even early in the season, we kept saying, like, and we knew, we kept saying, like, our defense is ahead of our offense. And that was just our theme from early on. Like, we were winning games on the defensive end. And I'll say this about just our coaching staff and Tibbs and everything. Like, this is probably the most, like, from a game to game. Like, I haven't been in the playoffs yet, unfortunately, but from a game to game perspective, like, this is the most like detailed and prepared we are on each team. Like, we come in, like, as far as like scouting report, how we're gonna game plan against people. We obviously have our game to game defensive principles and stuff like that, but like, as far as like the detail and preparation that goes into our game plan, it's like, it's crazy. It's second to none. And then like, you know, we said we don't have practice a lot, honestly. Like, we don't practice as much as hard, like you said, from playing every other day. Like, shoot arounds are almost like our practices in a sense. But yeah, the preparation and the attention to detail that Tibbs has on stuff is insane.
You know, it's good to see that the Knicks maintain a top-tier defense with limited practice. It says a lot in a tough schedule in the first leg of the season. Also, Julius Randle was asked about finally getting a home, because as we all know, he was in that circus with LeBron James up in LA, and Magic Johnson just let him go. So this is where the Knicks can actually get their come up and actually get a player that's off of free agency that another team just fucked up. Like how we normally used to mess up when we let go of Trevor Ariza and other guys, and other teams end up picking up these players and just they end up doing their thing. But Julius Randle was also asked about his input on the coaching hire, which I thought was mad interesting, because the Knicks, strategically, Leon Rose was trying to get guys to get the best out of Julius Randle.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Funny story. Cause like when when we were going through the whole, process of like hiring the coaching staff and all that type of stuff, Wes called me. He was like, like, what do you need? And I was like, what do you need to be, the player that you need to be? What do you need to be to get to that level? And I was like, I need a coach who's gonna push me and hold me accountable first off. And when Tibbs got the job, I thought it was a perfect fit. And I mean, like you said, not to knock any coach that I've had before. I played for amazing coaches who I still have an amazing relationship with. Luke, I have an amazing relationship with Alvin, and all those guys. Like, all those guys were necessary for the time in my career. And for me, I crave like Tibbs' coaching, him pushing me, challenging me, because I know it's coming from a good place. Like, we want to win, and I kind of feel like we're one and the same person.
Definitely getting Julius's old coach and Kenny Payne is definitely paying dividends for the Knicks. And right now, I'm telling you, the Knicks are really prepared and going into the right direction. And also the young guys this season, lucky for them, with Tibbs, they actually have a coach that has a game plan for every single team and is prepared every single night. And that's something that Julius Randle talked about, how he didn't have that early on in his career. And also RJ didn't have that in his first season. And it's really helping the young guys this season. That's why they're playing so well.
Like you said, for the younger players on our team, and they don't complain. Like, they go about it great. Like, they love it because it's all they know. But for them to have this type of like coaching and, like you said, attention to detail, being prepared on a game-to-game basis, to have that early in their career, man, it's like, they don't understand how much of a blessing it is, because you play for multiple coaches in your career, and I have too, and every coach is different, and they adjust to their team, but to have that type of detail, feeling prepared for every game, I feel like that's part of the reason, like when I said earlier, like, we feel like we can win every game, is because we're prepared. Like, we feel like we know everything that's coming, and we feel like if we stick to our game plan and do what we need to do, we're gonna win the game.
It's definitely something that we haven't had in a long time, and this season we could clearly see the direction the team's going on. They look prepared every night, and they look confident as hell. So right now, overall, with Julius Randle, man, it's good to see that he's having a great season. Like I said, phone lines is open. You guys hit up the link in the description below. Put in your email. The number will come up. Holla at me. 8th Avenue Conversations. Let's talk over it, man. Let me know what's on your mind.
A lot of thoughts on the mind, man. Let's speak, though.
Man, Julius, did we actually find our star, man? Jesus Christ. We about to luck up. Yo, in that first season, Julius was struggling with them turnovers, boy. As the best player on the team, he was just struggling with that. And this season, we've seen it pay off. Like, he really locked in. I mean, everything comes down to timing. I mean, lucky for him, the Knicks got Tibbs. They got Leon Rose. They got his old coach in Kenny Payne. It's all about that timing, baby.
You know, I go into the off season like I love the off season because it's really a chance for me to improve and work on my game. So I really crave it and look forward to it. But it all really came full circle, man. It was that. It was the extended break. Like we didn't play for 9 months or whatever it is. So like I really got to like dig in and really, get better. And then it was a combination of Tibbs coming in and the coaching staff with Kenny Payne, like being familiar with him, like and a person who really knows me. I mean, all of that, man. Like all of that, kind of worked together, and it's really worked to my benefit. But I just always enjoyed like I said, the off season, man. And last year was a huge learning experience for me as a player, being put in a position for the first time in my career, and to be able to come back and learn from that and get better.
Yeah, I'm not sure if some of y'all remember the player Tim Thomas when he used to play for the Knicks. Man, it hurt my soul to see him go to Phoenix and he was killing. I'm just like, yo, when is that going to happen for us? I'm telling you, Julius Randle's looking like it's happening for us right now, but it's like, is the fan base going to be satisfied enough of just getting a star by not the usual methods through free agency? They're going to be like, oh, we just kind of lucked up on this player. Is this for real? Is it too good to be true? I mean, you guys let me know what you think. Drop your 2 cents. Let me know what's good. Man, let Bernie know what's good, man. Bernie about to get a hot dog with us, man. Bernie knows Brick out here. Now, in all seriousness, the Knicks, man, going forward, the month of February is looking promising for us, especially leading up to the games right before the All-Star break. We got some winnable games against Golden State again, Sacramento, Indy, Detroit, San Antonio, and Detroit again. I mean, the league definitely fucked us over with the first half of the scheduling, but we lucked up. We didn't get too many guys going through protocols from the pandemic. So it is what it is. But you guys let me know what's up. What's good, man? 8th Avenue Conversations. Let me know what's on your mind. Drop your 2 cents.
A lot of thoughts on the mind, man. Let's speak, though.
Once again, the number's in the description below. Once you put in your email, the number will pop right up. Give me a call. Let me know what's up. Now, I don't know how we lost the last game. That was definitely a fumble right there. Because we got to try to pick up and dominate some of the teams that we should beat to at least try to make that 8 seed, or kind of stay in that middle pack between like 7 through 10. Because it's going to be tough, man. Miami's coming up. The Raptors, eventually, they're going to get on cue. So somebody's going to get pushed out. Atlanta's kind of up and down. It's really hard to judge the Atlanta Hawks right now. They spend a lot of money in the offseason, but I'm not sure like what's going on with that squad. They might have too many of the same thing on the team, sort of like Brooklyn in a way, except they don't have like mega stars. But also just let me know if you guys also think, does tanking really even work in today's era? With the league changing the rules, they don't like teams tanking. I guess it's hurting their ratings. They kind of switched up the rules, and it's just, unlucky for us. The year that we should have had the first overall pick, they changed the rules, and we end up falling into number 3. So right now, just tanking to take a mega lottery shot into getting a player, and at the same time, the players are coming into the league extra young. They take a lot more time to get more polished. So would tanking really work in today's era? Because I noticed this season, the Knicks are not really trying to tank this season, going into a strong draft with a possible second pick from the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, also let me know your thoughts on Julius Randle and also the tanking situation. Do you think the tanking situation works in today's era? Ha, no name. We got snow tomorrow. This shit is endless, man. Reginald G, I only talk about what's really important or whatever I think I want to talk about, man, because I'm not going to focus on every little detail. But if you want other content, you could check out Orange Cookies, man. I talk about stuff around the league. I kind of post on that more daily. But when it comes to the Knicks, I just kind of focus on certain key points. I'm not going to throw in filler stuff. I'm just not going to do that. But what up, though? Give me a call, man. Let me know what's good. Yo.
Yo, what's good, PanKnick?
What's good, man?
NYK.
Yeah, you call me Marcellus, man. You call me Marcellus.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn, all right, my bad.
Yeah, what is it? Who this,
All right.
Greenhouse?
What's up?
It's Greenhouse?
Yeah, let me figure. But you got a different number on there?
Nah, same old number.
All right. Yeah, I don't know why I picked that one up. All right, let me. I'm gonna go back to the site.
Nah, it's straight, man. What's up, man? Let me know. What do you think about this Julius Randle situation? You think we found our star or what?
Oh, yeah. I want to say definitely, man. I mean, I know as Knicks fans, everyone's looking for that big splash, but I mean, you look at those numbers. I mean, what they say, the only other person with those numbers is the Joker. I don't even think AD. I'm not saying he's as good as AD, but I don't think even AD had those numbers. Maybe before he went down. So yeah, man, just him making players better. I didn't think he'd be able to have his assists. I remember one of the Knicks fans, I forgot his name, he was talking about him having 6 assists. I was like, I couldn't see that happen with Randle. I know he could put up the points and the boards, but the fact that he's making his teammates better, and he should get that All-Star game. If he doesn't get that All-Star game,
he definitely
there's got to be something wrong. There's got to be something wrong with there's just got to be something wrong. As far as the coach, I wasn't expecting the fans. Not that we don't have enough fans, but I just didn't expect that. But as far as
we definitely have enough fans.
The coaches,
we have enough fans to get them in.
Yeah.
But it's it's as if they're gonna vote for him because they end up voting for the guys with the bigger names. But going back to Julius Randle, man, just his performance, I think really it's going to be easier to judge him if the Knicks are winning games. You see, if he's putting up those good numbers and we're winning slightly more games than we're predicted to win, then it looks slightly better. But if we're losing and he's putting up numbers, then he's gonna kind of be like in that Kevin Love situation in Minnesota where guys are putting up mega numbers, but they're not even making a budge for the team to even make the playoffs. So it's kind of hard to judge it. The team kind of has to be more successful. With him putting up numbers, then it's an impact. So I think that's really, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm just like, let's just win some more games. If he's putting up numbers, we're winning games, and this could really be some shit.
Oh yeah. And I people say, the 7th seed or whatever, but I was thinking just with the East. I mean, I know it's hard to predict it early, but I was like, they gotta I said they had to at least get that play in, man, because it just looked bad. I mean, even if we weren't doing as good as we are, it just looks bad for them to have a play-in tournament. And I keep on saying this. Some people are like, you're crazy, but I think honestly that play-in tournament was kind of for New York. I mean, for us, because you think about it, just helps the league.
You sure it wasn't for
with
Zion,
us
man?
having that playoff money. You know, it's a lot of revenue. You know what I mean? So for us to not even make that 10th, I was like, we got to do that. But now I could easily see us. I mean, we're at 7 right now at not full capacity because I don't feel like the team is at its peak yet. So, I mean, if they could get solidified like a 5th or 6th seed, I mean, you got to give it up to them because that's crazy.
Nah, fifth or 6th seed is definitely going up there. I mean, Randall could get a big payday if the Knicks make it up there, because then they'll be swimming in the pool with teams like Indiana or even Miami if Miami gets back on their P's and Q's. But that bottom tier, we should be swimming like with like teams like Cleveland, the Hawks, you know, Toronto, kind of looking from the outside in. You know, we should be swimming around there because, you know, that's basically where we're at right now as far as we in our rebuilding phase. But I don't know, man. Going back to Randall, man, it's just like, you know, I just think he could get a big payday if they see the impact as far as like the win column.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And you know, just his overall game. I mean, we all know it. I mean, I'll speak for myself. You know, I know you watch all the games, but you know, it's not easy to watch all the games. But I mean, I've literally had the league pass, probably haven't missed a game for like, you know, I can't even remember. Maybe when I was back in college, I might have missed some games. Mm-hmm. And even then, I would go to the home games because I was at CW Post on Long Island, so I'd try to catch some home games. But yeah, right now I haven't seen a team play to this ability. You know what I mean? For a while, and you know, I just feel like having a guy like Randall and just what he's been doing with that 3-point shot too. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's
I didn't think
new.
he'd be able to get to the point. I mean, now you don't even think he's gonna miss it. At least me personally, when he shoots that, you kind of feel like it's going in. So you know, him able to stretch the floor, and he just took his game to a whole nother level. You know, he was giving Tibbs a lot. Well, you had the audio up. I mean, he's giving Tibbs a lot of credit, but you could tell he's putting that work in, you know.
Yeah, and that Kenny Payne hire is also pretty good for him. The Kenny Payne hire is really paying dividends right now.
Yeah, I always thought that was a good move because people didn't realize. And another thing about Kenny Payne, because a lot of people talk about his development, but from what I heard, you know, he's usually the head recruit when it comes to Kentucky basketball. Like, he's usually, from what I heard, I remember one kid I had we do a crossover mission out here. He had Kentucky come down. He said a couple of different people told me it was Kenny Payne who kind of like, he's the dude who's going to show up at your grandma's house or somewhere. He's going to come visit you know. And then the whole thing with Coach Cal, that'll happen later. I mean, I guess Coach Cal goes to a lot of like the Jordan Classics, and he'll, you know, all the coaches go to those games, but that's another thing people don't. As much as he is a development, I think he's one of those guys you kind of have in the room. You know, maybe not with the bigger free agents, but maybe with some other players. So he's got a lot to offer. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
We see you know, being a Kentucky, you know, now, which is big, him being Kentucky. But I feel like a lot of times people talk, they're like, oh, you know, he's a development, he's a big man coach. It's like, nah, this dude's actually like. Most of those guys that play for Kentucky, he had a big hand in getting those guys signed. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not hard to want to sign to Kentucky, but there's a lot of teams out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of options for some of these players. So, you know.
So what do you think about getting him long term? Do you think him next to RJ is what you know is best right now? Because that free agency pool for 2021 is looking bleak now. So it's like, what else is out there?
It's gonna, I would just go ahead and, I think they'd be crazy not to sign him. I think a lot of fans are worried about, and me too, about the money, but you pay him. You know, I don't think he's gonna ask for anything crazy because, you know, obviously he wants to get paid, but he knows in order to have a team, you know, I think he'll be fair about it, and maybe they do something where, you know, it's bottom heavy contract. You know, maybe he's not getting as much, you know, 2021 and 2022, but maybe in 2023 or something he gets a big extension, or a bigger piece of the pie. You know what I mean?
How old is Randall, by the way? He's like 26,
I
27?
want to say Randall's like 25, man.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, you still got him in this. Yeah, he's not even, you think like he looks older for his age. You think he might be closer to 29 or something. I think he just turned 25 too. Or maybe he turned 26 this year, but that's still young,
Yeah, that's definitely a Magic Johnson slip up. He just wasn't supposed to let him walk away for nothing. Especially when he went to the Pelicans, he was killing.
Teams do that teams do that all the time. They act like we're the only team that makes, a lot of teams do that. They get tired of a play, they don't think they're gonna be as good, but yeah, it was a good pickup, Yeah.
Let me get your opinion on this tanking situation, man. Like nowadays, with the tanking, like, do you think it works in today's era? Seriously.
Not since the Pelicans and other teams you've seen just kind of jump up. I don't think it's worth it. But the fan perspective, I'm not gonna hate on it. If everyone's not a draft guy, and I know some people are like, oh, you got this draft going on. It's another draft. These kids are supposed to be good, but this class is a really good class. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like. The best thing for the Knicks is to make the playoffs, to change the culture. If you go into the draft again, lottery especially, it just doesn't look good to me, Now, of course, you could get Cade or you could get, who's out there, Kuminga, Suggs. I mean, I personally, even Jalen Green, I think any of those players are going to be franchised, but are they really going to give you what a Randall's going to give you or what somebody could get in free agency right now? And then you never know. So I'm not a big fan for tanking, man.
What was the last team to actually win when it comes to tanking?
Chance to the playoffs, I'd do it.
But let me ask a question. What was the last team that tanked and ended up winning like everything? End up winning a championship off of tanking? You have to go back to like maybe the Lakers really and Magic.
Breaking up a little bit. You hear me?
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last team that tanked and won the championship? Like I'm trying to figure that out because I remember the Lakers got Magic Johnson, but and then they went to the championship, I believe, that year, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they went the year after, but I don't remember a team that tanked, got a player, and then won the championship. You can't really even say Cleveland because Cleveland let go of LeBron, then they lost for like the next 4 years. And they got first-round draft picks, and he ended up coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's not really a tank to championship situation.
Yeah, it's like nowadays I feel like it's not really. But like the only way I can see it being worth it if you're a team like I hate to say it, the Wizards, because they could have been a lot better. But if you're like 15th seed right now, I mean, I don't know. I'd go ahead in this draft and get a top player, but it's not. You still might not get those guys. You still might get the 7th, 8th seed or something, and now you're stuck. There's still good players in this draft, but to me, if you don't get those top 5 guys, I mean, it's kind of like, what did you do it for? So.
But also,
I'm not a big fan of it, but I know a lot of Knicks fans in this draft. And again, I can't hate on it because I like the draft, but at this position right now, just make the playoffs. Change the culture. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. Like, I don't care what anybody says about, we're just going to make the play. If you get in that playoffs, like, anything can happen. Like, you can sit here and be like, oh, there's no way we could beat this team. There's no way we could beat the Celtics. You never know. It's a 7-game series. I'm not going to say we're going to go to the championship, but we might just make some surprises,
Wait, hold on. Do you think the Knicks should be tanking this season or no?
No. I don't agree with it. Not this year. No.
That's interesting. Yeah, because that's really a tough call because, like you said, the draft class is allegedly supposed to be good, but right now the staff that they got with Tibbs and just the staff around him and Leon Rose, nothing spells tanking with that type of those type of people in the building.
once we got those guys, you got all types of chats. And I'm not into arguing, but I watch enough Knicks. I'll argue with anybody about it. But at certain points, like however you think. But when I seen Tibbs, and then you see Leon Rose, I mean, these guys, they didn't come here to just, lose. And I understand the rebuilding, but I've never heard that from this manager. Like, I feel like when people talk about development and rebuilding, I heard that last year from Perry and Mills, but I've never heard Leon Rose come out and be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna try to develop our youth." I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's kind of like a lot of people assuming it. But when you look at Tibbs, I mean, does he look like a guy who wants to come here and not make the playoffs? And then you look at Leon Rose, I mean, this guy's basically a super agent. It's not like he has fringe players. All his players are top guys. So he's used to being successable. I mean, it still takes time, but I never seen them trying to take even now with this Beal trade, like people are like, oh, we might stand pat. I feel like they're not going to give the farm away, but if they have a chance to make a splash, they're going to make a splash. Like,
yeah,
they're not going to sit around and wait till next year. But
another thing with the tanking is that there's a major, generational gap with not even that many years in between players. Like, you look at what happened with Kyrie in Boston with Tatum and Jalen. There's like a clash between, certain players of like, depending on what point they're at in their careers. Like, Kyrie already won a championship. Jalen Brown and Tatum trying to establish themselves in the league, maybe make an all-star team. Like, sometimes when you tank or like you have a fresher, batch of young players and you put like a kind of mid-level veteran guy like Kyrie at the time, there's like a clash sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if let's say the Knicks tank and they got the first overall pick, like where Julius Randle is at versus where this new upcoming draft pick is at, is such a major gap. And then RJ Barrett, even though he's kind of in the middle, there's still almost a big gap between him and that rookie, because that rookie's coming in so fresh. It's you kind of see it playing out in Minnesota. In Minnesota right now, it's sort of playing out that way. If you look at the Timberwolves, and then even the Golden State Warriors with their first overall pick, there's a major gap between the young guy freshly coming in, because he's coming in so raw. You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus like even a mid-level, 4-year player, there's such a big gap. It used to never be like that, but I don't know if the G League can help it, but there's there's certain nuances within tanking that's kind of funny right now.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like, you're right. You got players on different timelines. And then even like you say, even if they're the same age, like, imagine being an RJ Barrett and then a Cade Cunningham comes in. Like, are they going to get along? It's like, you know what I mean? Do those personalities even click? Like, I know everyone's like, go for Cade or, say fade for Cade or whatever. But, I mean, I don't even know if those two guys really fit together like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it would be a dynamic backcourt, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, if it doesn't work, or, if RJ feels like, oh, this guy's going to come and take my shine or whatever, it's difficult when you, like you said, there's so many different elements when you're dealing with that draft,
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, if the Knicks somehow got Bradley Beal, let's just say somehow they got him, like RJ didn't really even establish himself in the league yet, so he's sort of kind of trying to take over like the Knicks wing position. Like, I'm the dominant guy, but Bradley Beal comes in, he's gonna chuck up at least like 28 shots or like 25 shots a game. Like, there's gonna be a clash there. And then Bradley Beal's like, how dare you try to step over me? I've been in the league for like almost 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, it's kind of funny when you have young players. Like I said, with Kyrie and the Boston Celtics, a lot of people should pay attention. There's a major clash that happens when you have a lot of young guys, especially like kind of early draft picks, coming in, mixing them in with like guys that are like 4, 5, 6 years into the league. It's weird.
Yeah, and then you guys think too, you got this chemistry, which I get. I'm a fan for that, but I just feel again like you got to look at who you're dealing with, and you look at you got the Worldwide West in there too. I mean, this guy, because I was thinking the other day, I don't think he's ever worked for an NBA team, like had an official job, but he's had an impact on with some of the biggest trades. So you think like him actually being affiliated with a team, you think he's not gonna make a big trade? You know what I mean? Like I just don't see these guys sitting around, especially when there's available players. You know, like I wouldn't be surprised to wake up and hear we acquired Beal. Now I understand, like, you know, people worry about the farm, you know, giving up the farm, but they don't strike me as those type of guys either. It's gonna be like, you know, yeah, you might get RJ or you might get Mitch, but you're not gonna get like some fans are like, oh, if we get Beal, we gotta give him RJ, Mitch, Obi, first round pick. It's not gonna be a fleece, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we make that deal, we're gonna make a deal that works for us, you know. And another thing with the draft picks, I feel like if I'm a team, that's what I want more than anything. You know, I'll take a player, but like if you got first round draft picks, I feel like that gives us a lot of leverage, and the fact that you probably have more than two teams involved. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
now let me throw a monkey wrench at you. What if the Knicks don't even try to go, let's say, for a trade or anything like that? Let's just say they're trying to make a push this season to get at least in the middle of that pack. What if they go after one of these guys that potentially is going to get bought out, like AKA Blake Griffin or even Drummond? Like one of these guys is going to get bought out. And even DeMarcus Cousins, now he's out. And now we have Mitch Robinson, you know, he's out for a couple of weeks because, you know, his injury. Are the Knicks going to try to, you know, look at some of these guys that got bought out and try to bring them in? Or is it going to, you know, present a new clash, you know, like, because Mitch is in a contract year.
Yeah, I think they're keeping their eyes on it. I just never really thought like that center position is the biggest deal for this team, but you know, talent wise, you know, it does help us out. Like I feel like DeMarcus Cousins could, like, you know, for the money. I mean, and I think he's a Kentucky guy too, so you know, you can't. That connection has already been established.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't mind it, but like you said, you got to be careful because Mitch is coming back. You know, it's 4 weeks, but you know, 4 to 6 weeks, but that's not that long of a time when you think about it. And he's already had the surgery, so do you really want to bring in a center who's going to want time? Like, I know Drummond's going to want time. DeMarcus Cousins, I still feel he'll probably want time, but he probably knows he ain't going to start. But I wouldn't put it past him, though, to make a small deal like that, but it just depends if it's going to – how much is it going to help the team? You know what I mean?
I mean,
and
shit,
again,
they already did it for Rose.
Like
for
a guy
Rose.
like a Worldwide West, I feel like, in Leon Rose, I feel like I could see him making a small trade because we obviously did the Derrick Rose thing, but I feel like those guys are just – they're really ready to make a big move if they can, like a bigger move. But
yeah, but that free agency class is depleted, man. Like after Giannis signed, it was basically just a domino effect. Everybody else signed their, you know, their extensions, and the 2021 class now is just really Kawhi Leonard, and he'll probably re-sign. It's just that's pretty much it. It was a bunch of names, and it just went down to Kawhi Leonard. It's like, damn.
Yeah, like you said, it was kind of like a domino effect. That's why, you know, like I keep on mentioning the Beal trade, and then I wouldn't be surprised Oladipo. You know, I'm not sure if they're willing to give up much for him. I feel like Houston will want a lot out of that trade, but
yeah, that's definitely another guy that's on the move.
But again, like you said, you have a good, like right now we're in a good place, you know. So you don't want to do a panic sale, you know. But I feel like if an opportunity comes up where we could snatch a guy like a Beal or, you know, a borderline all-star player or all-star player, we'll probably try to make that move.
Yeah, because at some point
it's interesting.
Yeah, because at some point, if RJ makes that next step, the Knicks they can't really look behind and keep drafting younger guys than him. They're gonna eventually have to start getting more polished guys to surround him with. Because if he makes a next step this year and then next year again, it's like, yo, at some point mid-season next year, you got to start putting better pieces around him. You can't keep putting these 19-year-old kids around him. Like it's not gonna work.
I agree too, and then you look at the fact that I mean, how many young guys do we have? There's, you know, you got Quickly, he's looking like a player. RJ is looking like a player. Mitch, I feel like, you know, there's stuff he needs to do, but he definitely stepped up this year. I think Obi's going to be fine. I just think Obi's he's more of a fast-paced player. Tibbs doesn't play that fast, so I don't know if they could figure out a second unit or just. I feel like with his work ethic, Obi's gonna be good. So you have a bunch of guys, and then, you know, the jury's out on Knox with a lot of people, but I feel like management still values him. So, you know, he might. I mean, at that point, how many young players do you need on a team at that point? You know what I mean? And you still have. We're still gonna have. I doubt we'll give up both of these draft picks in any deal. You know,
Nah,
even if we do, we have
Hell
second round picks. So it's like it's just a lot of. I don't know how many.
Nah,
I just feel like
no.
a lot of Knicks fans really value these picks, and it's like at this point, like why not just use them as an asset? Like, what are you doing with all of these young players now, and then going to get more young players? And I get it, like the talent level in this draft is pretty high, but
so they say. They always say that. You know what I mean? Like, how high could it really be if everyone's coming in so raw? You know, 19. I mean,
yeah.
look at the Warriors pick. He has no idea what to do most of the time on defense. So it's like these guys are coming in raw.
Definitely raw.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like at some point, you know, because of the landscape. You know, it's just the free agency landscape right now. It's not really that promising. So it's like either the Knicks are gonna work them phones and just cut a deal, do a trade, or they're gonna take advantage of some of these guys that's gonna get bought out. Like especially Blake.
Yeah.
You know, at some point Blake is gonna get bought out.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Pretty soon with the Pistons, and then you got Drummond, you got Cut. I think Cousins is definitely that. They said that's pretty much a done deal. He's gonna be out of there.
Oh yeah, he's out of there.
Yeah.
But in the few weeks in between, like right now, there's a slot for Cousins to kind of get some minutes at center for us right now. But once again, Mitchell's in that contract
I wouldn't
deal.
mind it, you know. Personally, I'd do that trade in probably a heartbeat because I always valued him as a player. I don't know about his locker room style, you know, his personality and stuff, but I mean, he's still in. You know, you could tell he's definitely gotten the shape with Houston. I mean, he hasn't been working out, but you could tell he's definitely
Nah. DeMarcus Cousins is straight, man. People be putting that stigma on him, man. That's when he was younger. Like, he's straight, bro.
Yeah.
That locker room stuff, like he's a different player now, man. He's actually good.
Yeah.
I believe he got humbled a bit.
All right. And then, you know, he stretches the floor. You got a center that could, you know, you can't leave him open at three-point line still. So, I mean, I'd definitely explore that if that was a possibility. And you mean it's not like you got to pay him a big amount of money, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm gonna be sick if one of these guys end up going to the Lakers, man. That's what I'm smelling that right now. Like they're about to get bought out and go to the Lakers.
That could happen.
Oh, I'm be
sick.
Or
the Nets, man.
Oh my God. Yo, how the hell the Nets could afford Andre Drummond? Like, how much money are they gonna spend? How many plays do you fucking need?
Yeah, I don't know, but they're talking about that. So I don't know what type of deal they're gonna figure if they're gonna ship somebody out for them. I don't even know who they have to ship out anymore. It's funny though, as good as the Nets are on paper, they're just not. No one's talking about them like that. I mean, in New York, you know, I'm down here in Florida, but like I get the paper, we still get the Post down here because we got a lot of New Yorkers down here. I never see much on the Nets. It's like the Knicks are in the 7th seed, and they, you know, if they win tonight, they'll be on the back cover of New York Post. It's crazy.
Yeah, because you know the way the Knicks
with those three
it's
top
style,
players,
man.
they don't even get noise like that.
Yeah, the way the Nets play sort of like a West Coast kind of finesse style. That's not East Coast, you know, the East Coast basketball is not like that. Like, look at the 76ers, the way they play. Like, that's the way, you know, East Coast teams normally play. It's like, you know, physical, defensive. You know, the Brooklyn Nets, man, you know, they kind of have an image issue, man. They always go away from what, you know, the team should be representing. And it's like they're too Mike D'Antoni-ish. You know, it's too finesse.
That's true. It's a lot of that. But on that team, it honestly works. But, yeah, that's not the exciting, you know. You're not going to get those defensive plays. And, you know, I heard they were trying to pick up somebody for defense. I think dude from Thunder, Robinson. But that's one guy. I mean, I don't know when it comes to defense, man, at the end of the day, what they're going to be able to do. But on paper, I mean, you can't front on paper. That team is crazy.
It's crazy,
But
but like how many times you could just dribble through your legs and step back, step back, step
yeah,
back, and it's like, come on, man. It's like you can't. They're really gonna win a championship like that.
yeah, yeah. I doubt it. I'd like to see when they play a team like the Bucks or the Heat or even Philly. I kind of have my doubts on Philly, but they kind of surprised me this year.
Yeah,
But
Embiid is going.
um,
Embiid is finally taking over, man. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
he went off the other night. I
Yeah,
think he
he
off.
is finally taking over
I mean, it was the Bulls. It was the Bulls though, so he should, but he still kind of just dominated.
no,
Kind of
he's
crazy.
taking over, man, because they've been talking about like Ben Simmons was gonna lead this team somewhere. I'm like, you can't rely on Ben Simmons. It's Embiid. He's the guy that could drop like 50 points, 20 rebounds. Like Ben Simmons ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Like, what is Ben Simmons gonna take
yeah,
50 layups?
yeah. True, true. Yeah, and plus I feel like he'd be more valuable on another team too. But I feel like Philly, they're gonna want, as they should, want a lot for him. Well, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, but what do you think about tonight's matchup against the T Wolves, man? That's a very winnable game because that team is another team that's like, the T Wolves is what I imagine if the Knicks just keep getting top picks and have no direction. Like if Steve Mills was still around, that would be our team. We would have like a bunch of top picks
Yeah.
and with no direction.
Yeah, the kid Anthony Edwards, I haven't been watching him too much, but it's just one of those games where, we should just go beat them, but I just hope they don't give them a chance to beat us, So I'm just hoping this game they've had some rest. I don't think they even had a full practice with Derrick Rose since he's been here. They haven't had too many full practices, so hopefully the bench clicks tonight. And I'm just hoping this game is one of those games that is just, by the third quarter, it's done. We got the win. So I'm hoping they do that tonight and don't even play with these guys.
Yeah, most teams this season, haven't had a full practice at all.
Position.
Yeah, like most teams this season, no full practices. Like it's getting real difficult for some of these teams. That's why you see a lot of teams like shooting crazy percentages because defensively, like teams that don't have enough reps, man. It's a weird season. Like I played the sound bites earlier. You heard Randall talking about it. Like guys just got to be in the gym nonstop because they're not really practicing like that.
Yeah. No, it was cool. He said, I heard that on your soundbite too about how the guys are gym rats, and he said, mostly we got a lot of young players anyway, but you mentioned Obi and even Kevin Knox. I'd like to see Kevin Knox get some more time, but we'll see what Tibbs does. But it's good those young guys, they're self motivated, quickly, and R.J. Barrett, they're in the gym. And everybody's not into that, They'd be good players, but they're not going to be in the gym all the time. So that's a good thing about our team. You could kind of see it. Like somebody was saying the other day, they looked tired. I think it was just their legs, but I feel most of the times I watch these games this year, you don't see our guys getting all winded and sweating to crazy. They seem like they're used to putting a lot of time in practice. So
yeah.
Hopefully that continues. And then we'll get wins over teams just based on that extra effort, that extra win.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. What do you think about what's his name? Julius Randle talking about how Tibbs actually has a game plan, like a real game plan, detailed game plan per team every single night. Like he said that's something that, this is the first time in his whole career that he's had he's been in a situation where the coach is disprepared. And he says it's really helping the young guys on the team. What do you think about that? Because I don't think the Knicks ever had something like that.
Yeah, it hasn't been like that in ages, man. You know what I mean? Because I think that was a big thing last year. It's like, what's Tisdale do? Not to bring him up, but so to have a coach that always, he's a student of the game. That's the thing with a guy like Tibbs. Like he's just all about basketball. So not to say other coaches aren't, but and then you could tell he has his staff where he's got the Kenny Bryants and he's got the Kenny Paynes and he's got the Bryants and the other guy. I heard he's big in the film, Adam Greer or whatever. I heard that guy's big in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a lot of different we got. You look at this coaching staff. Some of the people I never heard of, some I have, but it seems like it's a good mix of everybody.
Yeah,
And I was
there's a
telling that
guy
to
on the
somebody the
coaching
other
staff.
day.
Wait, hold on. There's a guy on the coaching
Yeah.
staff. What's his name? He's out of Utah. He actually created his own developmental program from the ground up, starting from high school. And then it was players from the league that actually caught on to him, and he ended up working for the Jazz for like 10 plus years, and now he's working for the Knicks. Like he literally built his own development program.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean it's a real good mix of guys. Oh yeah, I was gonna say even the because I was checking in the beginning of years, like they even changed the video guys, which I mean I heard it's pretty important, but it's like even the guys who are doing the video room stuff, they just brought in all new, from top to bottom. So, I mean, it's a little surprising for a lot of people, like, oh, the Knicks are actually doing well, but if you look at what they put in place, it should be a difference, a major difference.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. Yeah, man. But
hopefully that continues. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what do you think about Randall having input on the coaching situation? Because it seems like Leon Rose wanted input to get Randall to be at the best position to get the most potential out of him. He asked him like, what do you need?
Yeah, that blew me away when I heard that, man. Like I was like, yo, I've never heard of like a GM or president calling. He definitely valued Randall to do that, and then I like how he was like, "What do you need?" He wasn't like, "Oh, this is the coach we got, and pick from these three guys," or "What do you think about these three guys?" He's just like, "What do what do you think we need? What do you need to be successful?" I'm like, "Damn, like that's like." They definitely value him, which is, coming into the season. Let's be honest. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I thought he was either on the trading block or, at least they look to trade him at the deadline. But now you actually have a guy that it seems top to bottom in the organization. They see him as the guy.
Yeah, especially with
and
the top pick.
Of course, he's going to need extra player or another star. But yeah, that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they picked Toppin too, man. So it's like, what are they really gonna do with Julius if they're using their first their first pick on Toppin?
True. I think Toppin came came more down to like just the talent level. Like I feel like a guy like a Leon Rose. I mean, I'm sure other people had insight. Maybe what's his name, Walt Perrin, the scout from Utah. I feel like other people probably said Obi too, but I think Leon Rose was just like, I like this guy. I would sign this guy if I was an agent. I see him because he already has the and I knew Nike was gonna sign him. Like I just felt like Nike's not gonna let this kid pass. I don't care how good he is in the beginning of the year. I felt like Nike was gonna sign him over anybody else. But you already see it, like Nike's got him on the jump man. He's coming out with sneakers. He's just that type of guy you could put on a poster. I felt like Leon Rose just wanted that one player, and if it takes a year, if it takes a year and a half for him to get to be the dominant, whatever. But we have a guy who's going to have highlight reels, who just has that look and has that way about him, that says future star.
Yeah,
I think that's what it came to. And then when position, they're like, whatever, And I'm sure Tibbs, because I feel like a guy like Tibbs, I mean, a lot of people don't want to see Obi at the three, but I can see Tibbs being like, yo, play both of them. Or, slide one on the bench now, bring Obi in for this. I don't think it was a big deal to anybody in the organization about him being a power forward. You know what I mean? It was more about the talent level, I feel.
Yeah, his jumper's going to have to improve. If he wants to play small forward. Yeah,
it's not falling. But I feel like once he gets it going, like that three can be a problem, But he's definitely got I think he said Derrick Rose talked to him and he was like, yo, he's like, they're treating you like they treat me. You have to make those threes before they respect it. But, he's like, take your time. Because a lot of times you see he does kind of rush that shot. And he doesn't, like, put up a ball fake or anything. He just, I wouldn't say he's raw. I just feel like the game hasn't slowed down for him yet. And that's kind of natural. Once it does, I think he's gonna be a problem. Once he starts it starts clicking, he's gonna eventually be a problem in the league. So
Yeah, the same thing happened to Knox because Knox used to jump too early for a dunk. Once again, this is how raw a lot of guys are coming into the league. You know, a lot of things
yeah,
they got to get used to, and that's why I'm saying like does tanking really work in today's era with the one and done, and you know guys coming in so raw and just you know a lot of these guys play no defense whatsoever.
yeah, and that's one thing I like. I'll be honest. There's a few things I was like, I don't know about Tibbs, like his rotation, but the one thing I was, because being playing ball growing up, I just always like playing defense. It's not for everybody though. Like this is, there's obviously like NBA superstars who don't play defense, but I just felt like he would always he was gonna instill defense on the team. So that was I think that's gonna something he's gonna expect from these guys, and I think that's a big reason we don't see Knox. It's not really like the skill level. It's just if you can't play D, the way I want you to play D, you're not gonna play, and that's just what it is. So
Yeah. What do you also think about Knox? Like Kevin Knox, do you think some of that Kenny Payne magic that's working on Julius Randle, you think some of that's gonna sprinkle onto Knox eventually?
I'm hoping so. I'll be honest, like I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely one of those Knicks fans. Like I want him to get more minutes. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the biggest fan of Knox to where he could do whatever he wants to do on the court. But I've seen games where I'm like, I think the best game I think I've seen him have was against the Bucks. I can't say when that game was, but he had a real good game against the Bucks. I was like, damn, this kid, like, he's hitting a three. I think he actually hit a three on the Greek Freak. He was doing a lot, but I realized like he plays a certain way, and he's got to get used to. You're not always going to be in transition. He's not going to be on the fast break. You got to learn how to play basketball. In the half court and stuff like that. So I would hope so. I'd rather see him be good in New York than not, but I feel like a guy like Tibbs, you have a certain, you have a certain leeway, and if you're not doing it the way he wants, you're out of here. So, yeah, I'm hoping some of that practice time with Kenny Payne and all these guys will rub off on him, and he'll start playing better. It is only going to be better for the team.
Yeah, and also Julius Randle had mentioned like the long layoff in between the off season is what really improved on his game. Giving him time to break his game down. I remember hearing Steve Nash talk about that. How every off season he actually broke his game down and then built it back up. So I'm wondering if Julius Randle kind of went through a similar process in the off season.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he did, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, give him credit because it's he's put up all-star numbers, and he's doing a lot of different things. It's not just one thing he's doing well, So if that could continue, I think that's just going to be good for the other players, for the team, and hopefully solidify a playoff spot, which would be great.
Yeah, the only thing I want him to do is cut down on that dribbling at the top of the key. That shit is scary as hell. Looking at him dribble, I'm like, yo, he's about to lose that shit.
Yeah, I just think it comes down to somebody he could trust. Hopefully Derrick Rose could be that guy to just give him the ball. But yeah, he does tend to over dribble and stuff. But hopefully he just gets better. Learn some things, watch his film. So it'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. But we definitely got the next 7 games is definitely winnable. But the Knicks got to take advantage because that last game, we should have never lost to Orlando like that.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I was gonna go to that game, and I'm so glad because I'm probably an hour away, maybe an hour 15.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't go there. I would have been angry.
Yo, did you end up going to that Miami game? You end up going to that the Heat game? The last
Nah,
time.
I didn't go to that one either.
Yo, yo, Jimmy
So I
Butler.
might go to this next Heat game because they got another one coming up. So I'll probably try to go to that one.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler got to get Academy Award, man, for that last time we played him. He was faking,
yeah,
man.
that was this year.
Jimmy boy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh man, that guy's a fucking character.
Yeah, he is.
Jimmy
he is.
boy.
But yeah, that was crazy. And I thought we had that. I was like, oh, we're gonna beat this. We're gonna get this one. But
Yeah,
they
RJ missed that
Heat,
clutch
they
layup.
are that good. Like I hate to say it because it's the Heat. I grew up, living down South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a lot of Heat fans, but I grew up hating the Heat, and I was like, and then my grandparents moved to Miami in like '87, so I would always rock my Knicks stuff. So I get into it with all these kids down there, but
yeah, but the Knicks
yeah,
were
you
in
gotta
clutch
give it to
position
them.
to
They're
win
good.
both
They're
of those
good. They're a
games.
good team.
The Knicks were in clutch positions to win exactly both of those games against the Heat, but they just didn't capitalize. And sometimes I ask myself, in the clutch, like who's the guy? Is it RJ? Is it Julius? Like like what do the Knicks actually do in crunch time?
Yeah, like who's gonna make the adjustment or make the shot? I'd like the RJ to start getting there, but I feel like sometimes the shot's flat. You got to be able to make a quick decision in those moments. He had that Rockets game was it the Rockets? I think it was the Rockets game last year where, he did his thing. But, you got to be consistent, You got to be consistent. And then I feel like both of those guys as players, they're not really looking for the pass, where, sometimes you might just be able to hit that guy at the 3-point line or hit that guy cutting. But I feel like when they have that last shot, they're going to take it. Most times, like if it's RJ or Randall, they're going to take that shot.
Yeah, they got tunnel vision. They got tunnel vision in crunch time.
So that's the only thing I wish they'd just start getting off of. And quickly too. I mean, he's doing great for a rookie. You can't take anything away from him. But, a lot of times I'm like, bro, just you got an easy pass right there. Just look for the pass. But, he's either looking for that floater or that three, which I'm not going to hate on because, I mean, I was a big fan of him coming out of college. Like, I was actually really excited we drafted him. But, I don't think I'm definitely not going to say I thought he would be this good right away.
Yeah,
but
I
definitely liked him as a prospect. Like I thought he was, better than Maxey. People will argue that, but we got to see. Right now, quickly to me, he's looking like the better player. But
yeah, well,
but if he could make some adjustments, but he's doing great for a rookie. He's doing great.
For sure. Yeah, he's definitely overperformed for a rookie. But going back to Julius and RJ in the crunch time. I believe this is the first time they actually, got the green light, and they're kind of jittery. They got the green light to do their thing in crunch time, but they're kind of jittery at times, and they take more difficult shots at the end. Like, it's like, damn, man, you could have either, took a different route or just passed the ball. Like, the shot you took is really difficult.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think another thing, especially RJ, he's used to making those crafty shots sometimes, but it's like, bro, you're in the NBA. I've seen him do it, but it's like you can't just be throwing anything up there sometimes, And he kind of thinks once he gets that left. I used to be like that with the left, because I was good with the left like that. But at the same time, everyone knows you're going left, So I just like for him to have a few more counter moves and, look for that pass instead of always just being, like you said, tunnel vision with the shot all the time. I think that's going to make him a lot better.
Yeah. All right, yo. I appreciate you calling. I'm about to leave the phone lines open, and it's
man.
almost 6:30. It's almost
Appreciate it,
tip-off
man.
time.
Definitely, good show, man. Keep it going. Hopefully, we get this game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I love hearing from my fellow Knicks fans. Like I always say, I love hearing from you guys. So just let's chop it up. It's always good hearing you guys drop your 2 cents on like what's going on with the squad.
Definitely, I appreciate it too, man. All right,
yo, take it easy.
Peace, bro.
Peace, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, I'm gonna leave the phone lines open for a few more minutes. It's almost game time. Got a few things to do prepared before the game. You guys, once again, the number's in the description. Check it out. Let me know what's going on with the team. Give your opinion. Give your 2 cents. Let me know what's on your mind.
A lot of thoughts on the mind, man. Let's speak, though.
Yo, May 4th, what up, man? This guy be leaving the OD paragraphs, man. I appreciate it, though. I be trying my best to go through all your stuff, man. You be leaving them essays, man, in them comments. Damn, May 4th be leaving them gems in the chat. Speaking facts. Yo, May 4th, you stay dropping the gems in the comments, man. Sometimes I be seeing that shit look like an IRS letter, man. That shit be long as hell. I be reading that shit though, man. A lot of good info you be dropping. All right, y'all, I'm gonna leave the phone lines open for 5 more minutes. Once again, the link is in the description below. Put in your email, link, the number will pop up. Give me a call, drop your 2 cents, and let me know what's good. Reginald G, I be dropping much more videos, you know, on my other channel, Orange Cookies. I just cover stuff around the league. I used to post it on this channel, but I realized it is pretty conflicting, so I just dropped it on a different channel. But check out Orange Cookies, man. I drop a bunch of videos on what's going on around the league every once in a while. Things that I see that's important that people might have missed. May 4th, you're actually right, man. Bill's been in the league for quite some time, man, and he hasn't really done anything. I think that's one of the reasons why Westbrook had an issue about kind of respecting him when he came to the team, as far as saying like, yo, I'm the #1 guy. So it took Westbrook some time to, you know, just kind of let Beal do his thing, because Beal really hasn't done shit. I think John Wall this season, when he beat Westbrook, that was the first time they ever, you know, he ever had a victory over him. So it shows you that him and John Wall, man, they're not, I mean, they're a good duo, but they really didn't really have a big impact on the league like that. Yo, EJ, this is your guy Marcellus Ease, man. What's good?
Oh, what's going on, brother?
What's going on?
Chilling.
Yo, what do you think about Julius Randle, man? Drop your 2 cents. Let me know what's good.
Yo, I want to say one thing about Julius Randle. Julius Randle last year had me so frustrated because he always tried to do things like too hard. Like he was trying to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And this year, I think that he's just doing things smoothly. He's taking the game slowly, and he's doing passes that when I'm watching on TV, I'm like, I don't see no pass. And then he makes a pass to the corner to Reggie Bullock or somebody for 3. I'm like, damn, how the hell he seen that pass?
Yeah. The game is slowing down for him, man. I guess he
reached
that maturation age right now.
Right, yo, this guy, I gotta give Julius a lot of credit, because I was one of the first people that was saying, yo, we gotta trade him by any means necessary. Trade him. I don't care what we get for him, but trade him.
Yeah, I felt the same way every time I see him dribble.
I'm sorry, what you said?
I said I felt the same way every time I see him dribble on top of the key.
Yeah, he was like forcing everything. He was like trying to do too much. I'm like, yo, what's up with this dude? Why is he doing that? But nah, he changed up, man. He's pretty much an all-star. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah, he definitely is, man. That's that long layoff, man. He said, you know, he basically broke down his game. I played the sound bites earlier, but that's what he was saying. He's like the combination of the long off season, them getting Kenny Payne, the Tibbs hire, all these things combined is the reason why he got a lot better.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a big improvement. And not just him, but everybody on the team. Everybody's playing, but, you know, with focus. They paid attention to detail. They playing good defense. And they don't focus on just scoring. You know, if we can't score, no big deal. We just try to stay in the game with defense.
Yeah.
And that's, you know.
Yeah, we got the number 3 defense right now in the league.
Right. Yeah, that's and the thing that I like about this team is just that they focus on defense. if we can't score, we can't score. But you know what? We're going to try to stay in this game with defense.
Mm-hmm. I guess our only weakness this season is, for some reason, I don't know why, but the Knicks don't really have a lot of transition points. Like even off a steal
crazy.
this season,
you're right.
it's weird. They don't have a lot of transition offense. Like they're at the bottom in the league when it comes to transition points. It's very strange. I don't know why. Why is that?
Right. I watch a few games, and when they get a defensive stop, or when the team shoots a 3-point shot and it's a long rebound, they hold the ball. The Knicks hold the ball. They want to play slow instead of pushing it. Give it to your point guard, and then let him kick it to the shooting guard, or let him kick it to the small forward. Just go faster. But nah, they just they very slow. I got the rebound. Where's Julius Randle? Give it to Julius Randle. Let's take our time. They're not really precise when it comes to the fast break offense when they get defensive stops or long rebounds or steals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I'm like, give it to Peyton or give it to Quickly.
Yeah, give it to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose. Hopefully, Derrick Rose speeds some of that stuff up.
Derrick Rose as well. Give it to Derrick Rose. Let's move. But what I'm trying to say is that if they make the pass to Derrick Rose, that Derrick Rose should know I got to pass the ball to Reggie Bullock because Knox isn't paint. So if I pass it to Bullock and then Bullock passes it to Knox, it's a dunk or a foul or an and one. You know what I'm saying? Fast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's strange because you would think with that number 3 defense right now, they would get a lot of transition points, but it's just
right.
I'm hoping Derrick Rose can change some of that, like especially with I know Tibbs played, in that, especially that first Derrick Rose game, he combined Rose and Quickly. I'm hoping that that can actually change the pace of the team, of the game. Because like you said, like they need in transition to kind of attack the basket much faster and make faster decisions.
Yeah, we need to make faster decisions, especially when they get long rebounds or steals or blocks.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that's how
Robinson always gets blocks.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that's how Tibbs. What if that's how Tibbs just, his style? That's just the way he has it. The system that they run.
Well, yeah, that could be right. That could be true, but it's just that if you watch I know you watched the game, but if you see the games, these guys got opportunities to get fast points fast, but they don't move the ball. They just slow it down. They give it to Randle. Most of the time, they give it to Randle, and he just slows the fast break. He just slows it down.
Yeah, because he's gonna do all that fumbly ass dribbling on top of the key, have everyone looking shook, man. I know the whole fan base be scared every time they see him dribbling nonstop, trying to cross dudes over. I'm like, oh shit, this is about to be a turnover.
Yeah.
That is some scary shit. Really looking at him, even though he's killing right now. But I just be like, yo, Randle, stop dribbling. You dribbling too much. Like especially in crunch time. You just see Randle like dribbling, like, yo, you dribbling way too far away from like the hoop. You should be more down low.
Right. And what I prefer is that they give it to the guards and then give it to Randle when he's in the post because that's where he makes his money. He makes his money in the post. He's definitely in the post.
Yep.
So give it to the guard, let him push it, and then give the guard an option to give it to Randle in the post. If it's double teamed, then he could kick it out to anybody in the perimeter, or he could just drive.
Yeah.
That's why I always like Randle to be secondary, not be the person with the ball, because you're taking away an option.
Yeah.
If he has the ball, there's no option because you have the ball.
That's a good point.
Be the person off the ball, so the guards, whoever's bringing up the ball, to say, you know what, I got Randle here. If not, I got somebody in the perimeter, or I could take it myself. So there's 3 options. But if Randall's bringing the ball up, now you're only giving 2 options to score.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what you're saying completely makes sense. But I think this is where Derrick Rose could possibly alleviate Randall from doing that, because if you look at before Derrick Rose got there, they had Quickly as an option, but he doesn't really have the crossover skills to like go, get in the lane like that. And then they had Alfred Payton. When he does get in the lane, he's not a threat to score. So I think that's why they went out and got Derrick Rose, because once he penetrates, he's a threat to score, and he can make that additional pass. But the only issue with Derrick Rose is that he could probably only play like hard at least 20 to 25 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Without being a liability on defense.
He's scared to get hurt. I think he doesn't want to get hurt again, so he takes his time. He goes full speed, and then he just relaxes because he doesn't want to get hurt. I think, I don't know if that's the case, but I think that's why he plays like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him, man, because I thought everyone thought his career was done. Like the way he got hurt so many times, it's like, damn, everyone felt bad for Derrick Rose, because it's like we saw him killing. He used to kill us when he was on the Bulls.
Oh yeah, he was a beast.
Yeah. To kill us, but I still think it was a good play for the Knicks to go out and get him, because once again, Alfred Payton, he does his thing as a point guard, but he's sort of like a game manager. He's not really a threat to score, even though once he goes in the lane, he has probably like an open floater or a jump shot. He's not a good finisher at the rim. He was like that in Orlando. Just he doesn't really finish at the rim like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the real issue with him.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy with Peyton, because you could see that he's trying to be aggressive, and he takes advantage, especially when he sees that there's no big centers or there's a small point guard on him. He takes advantage of that situation. He's like, you know what? I could beast on these guys now, because there's no guard that's going to be bigger and stronger than me, and there's no center that's going to be able to stop me. And he goes in. That's why he has those big games, I think, because he recognized the situation, like, oh, I could take advantage now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. You're right. He needs to be more better driving to the basket if that's going to be his bread and butter.
He does not finish. I mean, that was a major issue. He used to get benched over that in Orlando. Like his finishing skills was not that good. And he wasn't really a real threat to score. It was like, he was sort of in cruise control, but then when Anthony Davis got hurt in the Pelicans, and then Alfred Payton came back off an injury, him and Randall was killing for like a week straight. There was a stretch where it was like they was both killing. I think that's why the Knicks had gotten both of them at the same time, thinking that they could just duplicate that on the team. But like, it's crazy because the way him and Alfred Payton played together, it was looking flawless in that last year in New Orleans when Anthony Davis got hurt. I mean, freaking Alfred Payton was getting like 18, 20 assists a game. That's how much him and Randall was killing. But I'm surprised, like they don't play anything similar now that they're on the Knicks. Even with Tibbs, they don't play like that. I'm just wondering, like you said, with the pace being slow, I don't know if it's that, but they play nothing like that, which is shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. What do you also think about the tanking situation? You think that really works, especially in this era?
Oh, I was a big fan of the tanking a few years ago because I was like, the Knicks need to rebuild through the draft. If they're gonna stink, all right, cool, stink, but let's get this draft picks, and we got to hit. Number one mandatory, we got to hit. So I'm so happy that we got the guy from Utah, the NBA scout.
Yeah, Scott Perriman or something like that. Scott Perriman. No,
I think it's Perriman.
Yeah,
so I'm happy we got him because we need to start hitting on these draft picks.
I think it's him. We got two guys. The guy you're talking about from Utah, and we also got another guy from OKC. We got both of them as scouts.
Right. That to me, To me, to be honest with you, bro, that's the number one key for the Knicks to change their organization around. They need to get the scouts that's going to find these players to change everything around, because free agents is not going to come to the Knicks. Nobody wants to come to the Knicks. So you know what we need to do? We need to get these players from college that's going to be happy just to be in the league, and they're going to be playing for New York. So we need to hit on these draft picks. Guys, so I'm so happy that we got that guy from Utah and Oklahoma City.
I agree with you there. The only thing I don't agree with is the players not wanting to come with the Knicks. I think that's more media narrative, man. Especially like this year alone, that everyone clearly sees his direction. I think, because the media got beef with James Dolan. It's a personal beef. Yeah. And they sort of create these narratives around the Knicks to stop James Dolan from being, and the Knicks successful. So right. It's almost like the Knicks and the fan base has to, have fight over the Knicks opponents and the media. It's like double the work. This shit makes no sense. No other franchise deals with this type of shit, where the media sabotages the team.
I believe it, because I used to live in Orlando, Virginia, Philadelphia. I used to never hear this criticism for their teams. They'd be like, "Oh, they lost. Okay, on to the next story." So in New York, it's more specified. It's more like big time.
Yeah, that's because
I don't know why it's the case. But
it's the case because James Dolan, he's like, because he owns the building. So like, if he don't like media members, he would kick them out. He would block them from coming in the arena. So they took that personally. You know how the media is, man. You attack one of them, they're gonna come after you on some like Illuminati shit. They're gonna come after you, and that's they basically do that to James Dolan. They sabotage the Knicks because they don't want him to be successful. Like when you think about even this year, the Knicks got we got the 7th pick or 8th pick. I forgot what we got, but they made such a big deal out of the pick that we got, which made no sense in a draft that no one knew who was even gonna go in the top 3. And then they didn't even make a big deal out of the Minnesota Timberwolves having already 2 first overall picks on their squad and them having to pick again first overall. Like, it's like, yo, why y'all even in that position? You know what I'm saying? They got no criticism at all, but yet we get criticism, and we even have, and they had a worse record than we did. That shit didn't make any sense to me. So I'm like, everything is like aimed at Dolan. Some of the fan base buys into it, but it's like, yo, they personally have a beef with this dude. Like the people, especially the Daily News, whoever used to work there, they probably work at ESPN, and they still beefing with dude. Like they have a personal, beef with this guy.
What's this guy's name? I forgot his name now. But he worked at Daily News, and he's currently working for ESPN. Because I see him on the TV show where I forgot the damn show now. But yeah, he works for ESPN. But he had beef for James Dolan.
Yeah, there's a lot. Believe it or not, there's a lot of them. Like Max Kellerman is another one of them. He said that he worked at a media company and James Dolan tried to silence them. Like, yeah, man, they take that personally, man, and they switch up and they make their attacks. It's not necessarily about the Knicks team. It's really about Dolan, but the team end up suffering because of it. That's the real story. Yeah. It's not really the Knicks is like in a conundrum. It's like, yo, they're sabotaging. And
it's kind of messed up because you see, even though right now the Rangers are not doing too good this year, but the Rangers been doing good, and James Dolan is the owner of the Rangers. So, it's not that he's a bad owner and the Rangers can't do good because he's the owner. They've been doing good. So that's all bullcrap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, how many guys have you seen came to the team and it's like they never got love around the league until until they got, until they played for the Knicks. Like, they got love around the league, but the love was different when they came to New York. They're like, wow, this is some like extra shit. Like, players' eyes be getting all glossy and shit when they talk about the Knicks. Like, come on, you see Amari, you see even Austin Rivers, man. He's like, wow, like, yo, like, dudes want to come here, man. They want to come here.
You remember Michael Beasley? Michael Beasley,
Yeah, like dudes want to come here, man.
Derek Williams.
Yeah, but
They come to the team and they do good for a while, and people are like, wow, this guy is awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So New York fans recognize when you tried your best and you put your foot in and you come out with full effort. They recognize that, you know.
Yep. Look at Jeremy Lin. Like they try to duplicate
Jeremy
that.
Lin, yeah.
They try to duplicate the Lin sanity in other cities, man. Even in Houston, they have the Chinese market in Houston. They try to imitate New York Lin sanity. Never even came close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Never came. That's how much the franchise has like, you know, this kind of magical thing around the franchise. It's like it can't be duplicated. The players know that, but it's like at the end of the day, the players ask themselves, "Yo, they're gonna scrutinize me because they're beefing with this dude James Dolan." You know what I'm saying? Like you almost like a casualty.
I don't understand that. That shouldn't be. I'm sorry to curse, but that makes no sense, man.
Yeah, man.
It really doesn't.
You're gonna become a casualty because of Dolan. Like the players, like fuck, man. I'm not gonna be the fall guy because they're beefing with James Dolan.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. You know what I mean?
So how you feel about everybody going to Brooklyn? You know, all the stars going to Brooklyn.
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, those guys, you know, they're stars, but they're not really, you know, like they're not really like trendsetters. You know what I'm saying? They're not like, they don't really transcend the game like that. Like as far as like the fan base having influence, they're nice. Like Kevin Durant is probably talent-wise the most transcendent, but he's not influential or anything like that. He's not influencing guys like, oh my God, Brooklyn. Like nobody's thinking like that. You know what I mean? Like they think that they have that power, but they really don't. Kyrie's skill set is crazy, but he's sometimes a bit quirky. Even though it probably comes from a good place, but he's sometimes quirky. But nobody's, you know, really like, oh, Kyrie, you know, put Brooklyn on the map. It's like, nah, not really. Like if those guys were doing what they're doing at Madison Square Garden, the love for New York alone would block any type of negative media coverage they get. They wouldn't even care.
They don't even realize. Realize how big it would be.
Yeah, I just don't think. But you know, I don't think, you know, personally they're not really built for it. Especially James Harden. They're not built to come here like that. James Harden is like, you know, he want to go to his little strip clubs afterwards. You know, some of these guys are low key, man. Like Kevin Durant, when he had mentioned Brooklyn, he kept saying low key. Yeah, so right there, you already know what he wants. Like he doesn't want to really be seen like that. He just wants to play ball and just be done with it. Like, but you know, being in New York is not like that.
It's crazy because I'm a New York Yankee fan, and everybody wants to go to the Yankees because they want to be, you know, they want to be known. They want to be part of the history. But I think with the Knicks, they don't have. To be honest, the Knicks don't have no history. They only won 2 championships in the 70s. So people are like, what the hell? I'm not going to play for that team. But if they was to bring the Knicks back, you know how big that would be?
Nah, definitely would be big. But, I mean, the Knicks do have history because the city is a basketball city. Like, everyone really cares about the squad. Like, dudes will go around and cheer for, like, you know, the 5th guy off the bench because, you know, he brings in hustle.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Other franchises don't have stuff like that. Like, nowhere near that. Like, Steve Novak, he could tell you he probably got the most love when he came to the Knicks. He was like, other franchises, they didn't give 2 shits about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the energy, man. The energy can't be duplicated.
That's what I'm saying. These guys don't understand, man. They went to Brooklyn, and they don't understand. If you bring the Knicks back, that shit's gonna be big. It's gonna be big around the world because everybody knows New York. I don't care if you're in Japan. They gonna know New York. Oh, these guys is great. They play for Brooklyn. Yeah, they play for Brooklyn. But if they play for the New York Knicks, they're going to be like, you know, even kids that don't watch the sport will be like, wow, that's New York. And Kevin Durant is one of the best players playing for New York. I got watch this. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But playing for those franchises come with a pressure that not everybody's built for. And I don't think James Harden, Kyrie, or Kevin Durant. I don't want to say they're not built for it. I know James Harden ain't built for it. But I want to say Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they don't want to deal with that type of pressure. They don't want to just deal with the nagging parts of it. Because even look in Brooklyn, and nobody really pressed them like that for anything. They kind of created their own negative energy. Like, Kyrie especially. It's like no one was really getting at you for anything, but you sort of created a scenario.
Yeah.
So it's like, but for the Knicks, there's a pressure on your shoulders, whether you like to admit it or not.
You have to be there.
Yeah, you gotta grind it out.
There's no calling out. No days off. Yeah. You gotta be here.
Oh my, can you imagine if Kyrie did what he did playing for the Knicks? Wow.
Nah, that's gonna be big time.
Wow.
Big time. What's wrong with him? What's going on?
Man, they would have found him. They would have found him on like the A train with a black eye, man. They would have found him homeless on the A train with a black eye. Yo, can you imagine that? Oh my God. Nah, you can't do that. They let him slide because the Brooklyn Nets, that's sort of like a small market, I don't want to say small market franchise, but that's secondary. Like a sister franchise, man. You know what I mean?
Secondary franchise. Like, yeah, okay, go over there.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, especially Kevin Durant, man, he tried to go out of his way and say, yo, the Knicks ain't cool. It's like, dude, you can't be telling New York City what's cool. Nobody looking at you thinking what's cool. They just look at you and say, yo, that dude is mad talented. But they're not saying, yo, I want to dress like Kevin Durant, or, I like Kevin Durant's style. Nobody's saying that. Like, I don't know why Kevin Durant is going out of his way to say the Knicks ain't cool. That shit wasn't, that shit was weak sauce.
Yeah, that's true. You see the Emmanuel Quickly, he's doing super good.
Mm-hmm.
And Julius Randle, but to me, he's an all-star. Everybody's talking about those two guys.
Mm-hmm. Especially Quickly.
I don't hear really too much about Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and Kevin Durant.
But look at Quickly. Quickly, he's like, he wasn't even like, he's like the 20th pick. The way they talk about him and his popularity, you would swear he was like the 5th or maybe 6th, 7th, or maybe even 3rd overall pick. He gets talked about more than some of these guys that was definitely like a top 4 or 5 pick.
Right.
Like his popularity is like, he gets way more love, and he's like, damn, I'm a 20th pick. I get more love than some of these guys that were like, especially that 5th pick or 4th pick that went to the Hawks. Like, people don't even talk about this guy.
Yeah. Who was that?
I don't even know. Like, they picked some really young dude. I forgot his name, but yeah, it's like, it is what it is. But yeah, but what do you think about the Knicks heading on tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves, aka a bunch of first overall picks with no direction?
I think this game right now today, I don't know. I think the Knicks might lose because you know how they are when they play against weaker teams. They're very streaky. So you can't really say, oh, they're gonna win the game because they're very streaky.
Yeah.
But I think they could beat the Timberwolves tonight.
Yeah, I hope so, because we can't be dropping those easy ass games. Like, we really dropped one in Orlando, and it's like, we kind of gotta hold on.
Yeah.
Because there's other teams gunning. There's other teams gunning for the spots that we're trying to occupy, like the Toronto Raptors, the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler about to be on his grind because Pat Riley about to run him through the sweatshop, the Miami Heat sweatshop, and put him to work because Miami's not playing.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think the Knicks will win tonight. It's just that if they're going to be focused and pay attention to every detail and play defense, I think they got this game.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I don't want them to start, because sometimes with the Knicks, I see that they play really hard against the good teams, and then the teams that they think they could beat, they sort of downplay it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate
Right,
that. I was like,
exactly.
we doing one of these tonight?
You know, they can't let their guard down. They gotta play focus, play these guys like they're the champions.
Yeah,
And they
for
should win
sure.
tonight.
Yeah,
They should win tonight. If they play like that, play focus like they're the champs, they should win.
yeah, for sure. All right, EJ, I appreciate you calling. It's almost tip off. I'm about to just like drop a few last minute messages on here, and then I'm about to like watch the game. I appreciate you calling. Definitely, I'll definitely shoot you an email because you're basically signed up for the email list on future shows. So I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, cool, man. Yo, I love your videos, man. You're doing a great job, my brother.
Yo, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You stay safe out there in these Rona streets.
All right, you too, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.
All right, fellas, it's almost tip-off time. I'm just going to leave a few gems right now. Guys, definitely check out the playlist. If you want more videos, there's videos around the league. I made a playlist on this channel on the videos I made around the league. Just things, people miss here and there. I figure it's more important to talk about. You guys probably don't even know that. I never really promoted these playlists. But they've been on the channel for a minute. Definitely check that out. This stream is also available on some streaming platforms, Apple Music, Google. Not Apple Music. Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Audio Mac. If you guys want to listen to it on the go, it is what it is. You guys enjoy the game. And May 4th, shout out to you, man, dropping them gems, leaving them essays in the comments. Yo, the kid from BK, I'm definitely not going to cop that Kevin Durant deodorant. But you guys also check out the other channel, Orange Cookies. And you guys enjoy the game tonight. You guys stay safe. Peace.